This exercise develops playing out the back and core possession strategy in a small-sided game. The objectives are to develop the necessary supporting angles and movements associated with playing out from the back. The work intervals are 2 minutes long, with the defending pair being substituted every 30 seconds by a resting pair, and the exercise is classified as low-intensity aerobic. The playing area is 20 by 10 yards, with markers to indicate a halfway line. For the first arrangement, 4 players are placed on the exterior of the playing area and are free to move along their respective sidelines. 2 defenders are placed in the central playing area, with 1 defender positioned and restricted to movement on the halfway line. The exterior players represent the skeleton of a team's shape, with a centre back, 2 outside backs and a central midfielder who attempt to maintain possession and switch the ball between the 2 grids. Circulating the ball, we look to attract the defenders or pressing forwards in order to create space to progress the ball forward. Shifting the ball laterally allows us to establish weak and strong sides, allowing switches of play to change the point of attack in order to play forward. The 2 fullbacks move to take up positions to support the central midfielder. We look to establish a shape with multiple passing lines, with support behind, to the sides and in front of the ball carrier, creating triangulation and a shape that provides the ball carrier multiple options. Players move along the lines of the playing area, continually adjusting their supporting angles. Playing shorter first line passes can draw defenders out, stretching the defending unit, isolating defenders and creating gaps between them, as we look to play penetrating passes that break defensive lines and bypass defenders. When the possession team is successful in switching play, the individual defenders switch roles, with the line player now stepping to press the ball. The defenders attempt to prevent the switch by pressing and closing space and closing off passing lines. On intercepting and playing a successful pass, they switch out with a resting defending pair, or both teams switch roles. In transition, the possession team can collapse and press to prevent the pass, and in doing so regain possession and play resumes. An alternative transition to having the defenders complete a pass is on intercepting. They attempt to dribble outside the playing area and place their foot on the ball for a point or to switch out. When the defending block is centrally positioned, we look to play quickly in the space on the sides. As a progression, we can limit the touches of specific positions, here limiting the centre back and centre midfield to 1 touch play, increasing the complexity of the exercise and decreasing decision making time. Next, the exercise becomes a 5 versus 2 with the addition of a central midfielder who is positioned and plays on the halfway line. The defenders are now free to defend wherever they choose. We look for movements from the 6 or central midfielder to take up good supporting angles, and positions where they can connect play and switch the field. Key principle is the third man concept, providing off the ball support for the receiver and allowing for the formation of passing triangles. Throughout the exercise, we look at the decision making of the players, playing setup or first line passes that don't bypass defenders, second line passes that go past but don't split defenders, but ultimately scanning for the third line pass that penetrates and breaks defending lines, and typically follows a series of first and second line passes to open up space. As a final progression, we place the possession team on a one-touch restriction as we look to increase the pace of play and overall speed of the exercise. The playing area can also be reduced in size for more advanced players.